I love that. And that's a great transition to talking to a little bit more of the specifics of this experience.
Okay.
So, although we are in a world of shifts, right? And we are disrupting this movement. And I can see this totally benefiting pretty much everybody with a message, a mission, right? Who's heart-centered, whether it's coaches, doctors, network marketers, actors, artists. Like, this program is specific in who it has been designed for in this iteration, right? And so in your own words, who is this really for in this moment, this version of Spotlight Energetics?
That's a really delicious question. It's evident that this is not an experience for the beginner. And when I say the beginner, the person who's afraid to be heard. If you're afraid to be heard, this is not yet the space for you. You will graduate here and probably work with one of my graduates in the future because I produce something and then blaze out. But I would say this is for the human that's expanding more than in role and title. This is for the human who is expanding identity to become someone who can do more than pursue the spotlight. This is the person that's ready to become it. So the work of being ourselves is a lot of internal pressure. Now you want to share that and you want to monetize it. It's very difficult to hold it all. You will break if you don't master the spotlight holding you. So the person that is coming to me and into this experience is speaking on stages, speaking on platforms, maybe have already established their own. And they're looking at it going, there's more here. There's more for me to be. There's more power for me to express. And there's more transformation for me to be a catalyst for. And that's more than being a talking head. That's being a transformational conduit used by the divine. And what's so beautiful about that is any human that has ever spoken and been exhausted afterwards, you've been with me after filming, you've been with me after speaking, you've been with me after a full day of training. And I'm skipping, I'm dancing, I'm high-fiving. What is that life force? It's because a lot of humans pray before they get on stage for the divine to use them, but then all they use is their head. I am teaching humans how to use your head and your heart so that you can master what comes through your hands as the contribution that is you. That is the mastery of energetics. That is the advantage of energetics. But we've got to begin with those fundamentals. So this is indeed a graduated space. It's a new beginning, and it's a new beginning for the human who has already gotten started.
All right, I'm going to take a deep breath out with that one. Ooh, so I need a moment because we said a couple of things. Transformational conduit for the divine, right? That's big, right? We can actually.
Too much?
No, I don't think it is. I mean, we've witnessed that, right? All of us have examples of humans who have been that, right? And I don't want to go on. I'm just thinking, MLK, Oprah, right? But it's big. It's big for many of us. We're like, ooh. But you also said become the spotlight. You were talking about life force. And you're also saying that being held versus holding the spotlight. So it sounds like, Allyson, you're suggesting that we have a relationship with this spotlight. And it also sounds like that when we become the spotlight, it's not just coming from us. So can we kind of roll it back for a hot second and talk about this spotlight and what the spotlight even is? And yeah, give me a little more on the spotlight, because I don't know, I'm ready to become the spotlight over here.
Oh, I love this for us. And I love this for everyone that's experiencing the joy of this clarity, and the potency that we're whipping up energetically. Feels really good. Two very quick times where I realized there was a union available for me with my spotlight. The first time was when I decided I was going to increase my speaking fee to $8,000. I was so afraid to do it, but I was also very excited. I had been in mentorship with Lisa Nichols, who mentored me for so many years and is so much of why I am who I am today. And so I also wanted to honor her. Like, I couldn't wait to call her and tell her, I couldn't wait for that moment. So I practiced it. $8,000, $8,000, $8,000. Allyson, what is your speaking fee? It's $8,000. I was ready. I get on the phone. I tell them $8,000. They say back to me, okay, we'd like for you to speak 3 times. Would that be $24,000? I was so scared that I denied the money. I was a little baby in my 30s. I was like, and I had also been told all my life, nobody's going to pay you to talk all day and nobody's going to pay you for your opinion. 2 things my career is founded on today. So I hadn't expired that vulture of consciousness in my thought process yet. So here it was like, nobody's going to, but they're telling me on the phone, $24,000. I say, I think you should hire this person. I give the money away. I end up going to speak for the $8,000 and end up speaking the 3 times anyway because someone was sick. And I only made the $8,000. Fast forward, I get ready to start doing speaker packages. And back in the day, you would send out your packet and then people would tell you if you could speak on their stages. And I'm trying to get my packet together, but I can't get it together. All along, people are texting me, hey, I'm doing this event. Can you come over here? Hey, I'm doing this. And when I would go to the event, do the event and leave, not recognizing that the event was meant to produce other events. So with these 2 stories, how did I start noticing that there's a union with the spotlight? 1, once I'd made agreement with the spotlight says, I want to amplify that agreement. I thought I had to work for the $8,000. The spotlight was like, your work is showing up, which you love to do. And here's a bonus, do it 3 times. And in one day, make all this money. I didn't understand that the spotlight benefited me, that there were rewards. I only thought my work would get me there. Listen to me when I say this. The spotlight is the only thing that will ever pay you your absolute worth. The only thing. And that is because it dissolves the energetic of work. And then there I was trying to work for the engagements, but the engagements were coming to me. And guess who was sitting in those seats? Other producers of events. Sure, they were small retreats with 8 to 10 people. But one of my largest rooms in my earlier career had only 20 people in it. And I did $350,000 because it's intimate and deeply connected. So that's how I began to discover that when we converse with our energetics of the spotlight, when we dwell with it, there are rewards, returns, and prizes that are often bypassed because we don't know what we don't know.
Wow. I feel like I'm going to take that little clip and listen to it 3 times over because there are so many juicy nuggets in what you just said, which you will teach in Spotlight Energetics. I'm literally like, I feel like I just signed up, Allyson. The one I do want to pull out is this idea that you becoming the spotlight instead of chasing the spotlight will actually yields, right? You getting paid your worth. I took a moment because there was something I resonated with so much, the vultures you were talking about, and being told, right, as a kid that I talk too much. And it just brought back that for me, and that no one's going to pay you to speak, right? And for your opinions. And how I carried that and made it about me anchoring myself in other statistics, other opinions, other people's spotlight, instead of becoming my own. And so I was just sitting with the moment and saying, oh shit, I hope we can say it on this. We can beep it out. But like the relationship spotlight is real.
Yes. And borrowing the spotlight is common. You know, when I started in the spotlight, I was in Texas. Being a Black woman in the spotlight wasn't really allowed. So I used to use Patrick Lencioni all the time. I used to use his books. I used to train from them. I used to use them as my doorway in. That time has expired. We can be Black, we can be gay, we can be queer, we can be trans, we can be thick, we can be thin, we can be, whatever version of ourselves we desire to be, we can be that. And we can embody the spotlight, and we can help to shape our world to be a more high frequency existence for all of us.
And, while we don't need permission, sometimes that's exactly what we need, right? I feel like in this moment, you've given me permission to say you can become the spotlight, and so one, thank you for that.